Welcome once again to Commander by Dana. Today we have a special video. One of the things I love doing on this channel is upgrading the pre-constructed commander decks. Today we'll be upgrading Blight Curse, the new Jund commander deck. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Like all of the pre-constructed commander decks, we have two choices for our commander. And though these two are similar, you'll see that there are some subtle differences. The first commander is Auntie Ool, Cursewretch, a 4-mana 4/4 legendary goblin warlock with ward Blight 2. Whenever one or more -1/-1 counters are put on a creature, we draw a card if we control that creature. If we don't, that creature's controller loses 1 life. The other option we have is the Reaper King No More, a 3/3 legendary artifact scarecrow. When it enters, we put a -1/-1 counter on up to 2 target creatures. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, we may put that card onto the battlefield under our control. But we may only do this once per turn. As you can see, both of the commanders care about -1/-1 counters, but there is a subtle difference. The Reaper King No More cares about putting -1/-1 counters on our opponent's creatures, while Auntie Ool doesn't care which creatures get the counters. A fine distinction, I'll grant you, but a distinction nonetheless. So what I like to do for these videos is remove a few cards that don't fit the theme along with one of our commanders, replace those cards to help make the deck more functional, then use the removed cards to build a new commander deck. After looking at the cards in Blight Curse, I felt that the Reaper King No More fit it better. The deck mostly puts -1/-1 counters on opponents' creatures, so I felt that Auntie Ool should lead our new deck. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is made famous by their boulders. Solid, reliable, and affordable deck boxes. Boulders are now available in solid colors, like this beautiful black one seen here. Find it if your local game store carries the new Ultimate Guard solid color boulders, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, split between 37 lanes and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Okay, let's compare that checklist against Blight Curse. 48 mana sources split between 39 lands and 9 pieces of ramp. A little light, so we'll want to up that. 19 pieces of card advantage, so we can afford to make a couple cuts. 14 pieces of interaction, 6 board wipes, no graveyard hate, and no sudden I win cards. Well, we're in bracket 2, so we don't really need sudden I win cards, but we do want to have some graveyard hate. But what other cards should we cut from this deck that work better with Auntie Ool as opposed to the Reaper? To start, since Auntie Ool cares about killing our own creatures to draw cards, I wanted to make her an Aristocrats deck, and that informed a lot of my decisions. So to start, lasting Tarfire will help us deal more damage to our opponents. Grave Venerations is another Aristocrats effect, and we can never have too many of those. Next up, Flourishing Defenses and Grave Titan help us to generate more tokens to sacrifice. Following that, Sinister Gnarlbark and Dusk Urchins both offer us ways to put -1/-1 counters on our own creatures and help us draw cards. And we're also going to cut Terminate and a Swamp. Don't worry, all the cards we're cutting will find a home in our new deck. But the question remains, what cards to replace them with? To start, we've got 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, and Cultivate. We were short on ramp, and this will help to even us out. Next up, we've got Nest of Scarabs, and Persistent Constrictor to help us enhance the core of our deck. Generous Patron can serve as card advantage, or since our deck puts -1/-1 counters on everything, we can save one of our own creatures. Finally, we've got Rakdos Charm, and Bojuka Bog serving as graveyard hate. Don't worry if you didn't catch all that, I'll have a list down in the video description for cuts and additions. But what are we going to do with the cards we cut? What kind of deck will we build? I already answered that. We're building an Aristocrats deck. Remember, Aristocrats is an engine with 3 moving parts. Creatures to sacrifice, sacrifice outlets, and payoffs for sacrificing those creatures. And since Auntie Ool is our commander, we'll want to make sure we have lots of ways to put -1/-1 counters on our own creatures. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm streaming on Gaming with Daniel as well as Twitch. Sometimes I'm building commander decks, other times I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, but you're always welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Savage Lands, Dragon Skull Summit, Rootbound Crag, Woodland Cemetery, Smoldering Marsh, Cinderglade, Vernal Fen, Canyon Slough, Sheltered Thicket, Festering Thicket, Tainted Peak, Firelit Thicket, Tainted Wood, Sulphurous Springs, Carplucin Forest, Llanowar Wastes, Rakdos Carnarium, Gruul Turf, Golgari Rot Farm, 4 swamps, 3 mountains, and 8 forests. What, no Bojuka Bog, Danon? I don't have to put it in every deck, dear viewer. There are other options for Graveyard Hate. Our mana ramp package consists of Channeler Initiate, Devoted Druid, Pitiless Plunderer, Black Market, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Nature's Lore, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Solemn Simulacrum. Lots of ways to stay ahead of the curve. For card advantage, we've got Sinister Gnarlbark, the Scorpion God, Dawnhand Dissident, Dusk Urchins, Night's Whisper, Death Reap Ritual, Moldervine Reclamation, Hollowmark Siege, Phyrexian Arena, Eternal Witness, and Liliana Dreadhorde General. Lots of ways to dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Our interaction and spot removal package consists of Boggart Trawler, Gliss's Sunslayer, Cankerbloom, Bedevil, Terminate, Assassin's Trophy, Beast Within, Pillage, Return to Nature, Rakdos Charm, and Revitalizing Repast. Lots of ways to keep our opponents in line. For board wipes, we've got Soul Immolation and Blasphemous Edict. Thematic and powerful, just how we like it here. For sacrifice outlets, we've got Yawgmoth Thrawn Position, Viscera Seer, and Goblin Bombardment. Our payoffs consist of Lasting Tarfire, Grave Venerations, Obelisk Spider, Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, Bastion of Remembrance, Boggart Mischief, Poison Tip Archer, Veto Thorn of the Dusk Rose, Impact Tremors, Vengeful Blood Witch, and Vein Ripper. Finally, the core of our deck consists of Flourishing Defenses, Grave Titan, Nest of Scarabs, Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons, Micaeus the Unhallowed, Murderous Redcap, Putrid Goblin, Omid Eternal, Grumgully the Generous, Krenko Mob Boss, and Sting Slinger. Lots of ways to generate tokens, as well as some additional -1/-1 counter shenanigans. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 51 mana sources split between 36 lands, 13 pieces of ramp, and 2 MDFCs. A little high, but not a crazy amount. 12 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 11 pieces of interaction. 2 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Rakdos Charm and Return to Nature. No sudden I win cards, but since this is a more casual deck, we're not really worried about it. Our deck is designed to be ruthless and relentless, but slow. We build up a board full of creatures and then kill them to draw cards, or deal damage to our opponents, or, ideally, both. Now, I wanted this whole experiment to be around $200, but we wound up closer to $250 due to a few $15 cards. But honestly, $250 for 2 distinct commander decks isn't too bad. That includes the original Precon, upgrades for it, and a whole second deck as well. I was excited for this commander, and I may revisit her in the future. For a long time now, I've wanted the Scorpion God to be Jund. The idea of a Jund -1/-1 commander that draws cards? How great is that? Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see me try to build something crazy led by Auntie Ool. Are you planning on picking up Blight Curse? What are your plans with the deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my daughter Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to do your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Conga, Robert, Pye, Kazaris, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Boomy, Osira, Justin, Golden Walker, Captain Hammer, Sleech, Mr. Salty, Daniel, and Zombie. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.